Dark History of Rats. Greetings, I am Breakfastier, more popularly known as Red. I'm writing this on the same time frame as my friend, H.Joe Cameron, and this is my side of the story for Robloxian Rats, a community I indulge in. So, as you know, H.Joe Cameron joined the Rats United during its prime, April 11th, 2020. The royal rats that created the Rats United were Joe G, their popular chef, Gordon Ramsay, their rat priest, the real rat priest, and the master rat behind it all, Rats United holder, Powie616. After the popular Roblox YouTuber Flamingo did a video on the Rats United, which he saw from Caden, it began getting popular by the seconds. In the end, it eventually had 1 million members. Eventually, it created the most popular game now, Rat Border, also known as Rat Crossing. As many people started playing that game, slowly did they know that the Rats United governors started doing very evil stuff. They started feeding their members less, and less. Some rats started noticing this. They eventually began rebelling against the rat leader. The rat leader started abusing the rats that were rebelling. They did this in a steel cage far away from the sewers so that none of the rats would notice. Eventually, they were kicked out of the Rats United group for rebelling. They were sent out on the streets with a choice. They could get publicly executed, or they could get sent out on the streets to rot. They chose the street option as they know they had a chance of living. 3 weeks after being out on the streets, a few rats got captured by the humans, one being me. In the future, being known as the lab rat. My story, I was abused by the humans that were known as scientists. I was used for products. I managed to escape, being blind in the left eye. I ran as far as I could to the hideout of the rebellious rats. After I made it, our leader had the best idea of making a union, the Rat Union. After we all got the Rat Union created, we all headed out on the streets to find a place to stay for the night. A place that had cheese. We eventually found a place to stay. It was a haunted house, but it had cheese. Aged cheese. We all dined in, then fell asleep on the springy, torn beds. As it was morning, we headed out to find a place we could stay. We saw a cheese factory. Bingo. We went inside. Immediately, security stormed us out of there. But a guy snuck us back in. He worked there as a head security guard. He drilled a hole into the wall next to where the cheese was produced. We called that our hideout. Eventually, we had all the cheese in the world. We got some rebellious rats to join our community. We were doing good, but one day that would change. Word got out about the Rat Union, and we started getting humans coming to the cheese factory every day, looking for us. Epic, who I forgot to mention, who was the head security guard that let us in, he always told them to look somewhere else. They ain't here. It was a good thing we had him on our side. Eventually, the Rat Union had some peace, as the rumors died down. But one day, a special day, they were at war with another small group. A group at the cats. They lost. Luckily, only losing one soldier in the war. I eventually managed to make magic cheese, a cheese capable of healing any rat's wounds and injuries if eaten. I healed my blind eye, and everything was going great. We had the perfectly accommodation to live. Perfect shelter, perfect surroundings, perfect food. Now, some more history behind the evil that happened during the Rats United era. During the first days, they had satanic signs below the rat model, who they named God. Now, I may be overreacting, but that just doesn't seem a little bit insulting to God. Now, another thing. It's rumored that Gordon Ramsay, in the dying state of the Rats United, poisoned the food. But who knows? It's a rumor. That's the dark history and some history behind the rebellious of rats. Until we meet again, adios.